and gentlemen, Street Fighter fans all over the world, it is time for another day of Street Fighter League Pro-JP 2021. My name is Vicious, here with my man Saint Cola, and from here on out, we're talking about the playoffs and the playoff contention. From this day forward, we only have about 12 more days of play, which we're going to show you guys in just a little bit. But for today's matches, to round out the week, we have none other than the rest of the teams duking out, clawing their way to get into those top 5 spots, which is ever so important because we always want to make sure who's keeping up with who's going to claw their way at least up to 5th place, because the playoffs are just around the corner. We couldn't emphasize that enough. My man Saint Cola, how are we feeling about today's matches?
Oh, you know it's going to be fire. I feel like as we get in the second half, as people get into these rematches, we're going to see different strategies. And we're going to see right here on the screen all the different matches coming up. These are all going to be rematches. The teams, in terms of where they're switched, the home and away styles have been switched to figure out who's going to be from the 1st to 5th place. And that's going to be super important because the playoffs are on the way. As you said, next year, we're going to have the playoffs and the grand finals. The playoffs and grand finals will take place in January. 2nd to 5th place will be at the end of the league. We'll be playing off in the playoffs. The top 2 teams of the playoffs will move on to grand finals along with the 1st place of the league. And then the top 2 teams of the grand finals will move on to the World Championship. That is what is happening next year. That's what everyone's working towards.
That's exactly right. You better mark your calendars for early January. As we see again in the graphic on the left, we're looking for 2nd through 5th place. It's going to be seeded accordingly. We're going to see who gets that home and away advantage, or I guess positioning, because we all know the home and away team. We know who actually has the advantage there. But in the grand finals, the team that is in the 1st place spot will be automatically sent into the grand finals in the 1st place to see who will face off against them between, we saw the playoffs. So that grand final spot is ever so important because we see the prize pool of 8 million yen on the line. And you already know that's a lot of money, right? 1st place going to get 5 million yen, 2nd place with 2 million yen, 3rd place with 1 million yen. That's still a pretty hefty conversion rate. I got to tell you right now, if you were to actually do the math, as it stands right now, that's roughly $44,000 USD for those of you tuning in from the States, split amongst your team members. That is a pretty good chunk of change playing some Street Fighter V, if you ask me.
Yeah, and for the comfort of your home for the most part. And it's not going to be easy, though. You got some of the top players, if not the toppest players, up here in the Street Fighter League Japan series. You've got a bunch of new faces, the old guard coming through. And speaking of the old guard, we've got 2 hot teams coming through. Milodon Beast going up against Shinobiism Gaming. I feel like it's a mix between the old and young. But let's go back a little bit. 2 days ago, we saw the 3-1 right here. FAP Roto Z going down to Seoul in that 3-1 spot. Nemo clinching it out against Sako. Also, Yanai coming through in the clutch, but Bonchain did put in some work for his team.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. It was actually a very surprising conclusion, all with the fact that, Saishun Console Kumamoto has been in the bottom ranks these last couple of days. But then putting in Yanai to be the morale booster out the gate has been so important, right? He's the only one that's been putting in the work in terms of all of Street Fighter League. I think he's been defeated currently. Then we move on to Nagoya Oja Bodystar versus Team Camouflage Detonation, which was absolutely close, right? It came down to a draw, as a matter of fact. As you see, Akira fell just short against Nauman's Ken, which is a very surprise pick. We haven't seen him use that character throughout the league. And then MOV getting 0-2 shutout by John Takeuchi yet again with another L. But Dogura happened to take it down over Itazan in a very, very close set, in a very clutch timeout situation. And as we can see how it all leads up, Camouflage Detonation still at the very bottom. Milodon Beast right above them with 12 points. They're going to be playing today. Saishun Console Kumamoto with 6th place, ever so close to the team above. Gyogu, and of course, sitting at 5th place. Nagoya Oja Bodystars at 4th. Shinobiism Gaming at 3rd. V6 plus FAV Roto Z at 2nd. And of course, the top of the food chain, Good 8 Squad.
And as we said before, you want to be above that red line to stay fine. You want to be in that spot, in those spots, just above. Obviously, you want to be at the top spot as far as you can. But one that's been trying to claw there is Milodon Beast. Yeah, exactly. You want to be situated and nice and comfortable watching all the peons fight through. And go back and look at some of this action right here. A lot of emotions. A lot of people, putting their hearts into the match, especially MOP who hasn't gained that win. We see some of the cheers and things like that. That's the great thing about being able to see their faces on the screens. Super sick to have that feature, by the way. But anyway, I digress. going back into the match we're going to see today is going to be Milodon Beast, one team that's been at the precipice of making it to that 5th spot, but just falling short so many times. And it's not something you would typically expect from a team with killers. They got a lot of heaters on their team.
Yeah, and you kind of mentioned it, Milodon Beast having a team member, a captain, who is of Daigo, who just qualified for Capcom Cup just, two weeks ago, I would say. Still in the hot spot. But you also have a team that has stopped them previously. In fact, that team is coming up next. And that would be Shinobi-ism Gaming, led by none other than Momochi, the head ninja. And of course, a man with a very lethal cami. In fact, lethal all the way through. The master of lethal, in fact, Fujimoro, coming up with that cami. Don't be fooled by saying Chun-Li. And of course, don't be fooled by the young man Higuchi, the experienced youth. Don't take him as a light newcomer. This guy is also qualified for Capcom Cup. And of course, Toyama's talent, still looking to find his wings, find his momentum, is Otani, rounding it out for Shinobi-ism Gaming. I'm liking their record overall, where they're in the placement in a very comfortable position in terms of the playoff spots. The one thing I want to know is how it's going to play off against Milodon Beast. Both teams are currently tied 2-2 when it came to their last rundown.
Now we have Milodon Beast coming up to the bat. Daigo, the living legend himself, Umihara, rounding out the guard. He is the leader of the team, but behind him is the attack on heavy tank, Fudo, Evo champ right here, super strong competitor as per usual. And behind that is the Hermit Ashime, YC Mochi, the Sin God. And last but not least, definitely not least at all, the road to Sakyo, Morito, playing that damn pick that has been catching people off guard so many times. This team, again, being so strong, but being down, below that qualification spot shows you how strong it is in terms of competition out here in Street Fighter League Japan. Like, it's definitely not free at all. Nothing is for free.
Yeah, and so far you can see the graphic there on the top right, how it all went down. You see that Shinobi-ism had a very, very explosive start, and then towards the end actually faltered with Higuchi as the anchor, which is going to be a whole different story now. They switched it up ever so slightly. Momochi's going up first with Akira, Higuchi as Guile for second, and the anchor with Fujimoro. I really, really love this order.
Yo, Fujimoro has definitely proved himself, right? Robotic with it, finding those hit confirms off of jabs. I don't see many Candy players doing it, but I like that, as you said, having that person come through for the first 3 best-of-5 situation at that bottom spot. Let's see what the home discussion is going to come through with. Milodon Beast deciding what they're going to do, who they're going to send up. Listen, personally, I'd love to see Dan. I'd love to see him come through in the clutch. Not sure how you do in any of these matchups, just in totality. But it looks like they made a discussion. I see the okay sign saying he's fine. He's like, let's wrap this up. Let's get to work.
Yeah, I'd imagine this is the kind of order they were expecting when it comes to the away team. They want to put their best guns forward, not to knock any of the other players like Otani, right? Otani hasn't had the best start. I think him being on the home field advantage, being able to use him as a tool to counterpick would be way more beneficial. If they're trying to lock in their position for playoffs, I don't doubt that they want to put this specific order, or at least these 3 team members. So it's going to be really interesting to see. We've talked about this before, and you might have heard it between Sian and myself. One of the players I'm looking to see highlighted is YHC Mochi, because Dalsim being a counterpick to most players would be absolutely important. And this is the matchup I'd like to see. I don't know how much matchup experience Momochi has between Akira and Dalsim. Again, Akira being one of the newer characters, but I think this is a very smart choice from Milodon Beast to put someone like YHC Mochi up for this position.
And Mochi said he's done a lot on the Akira matchup, and looks like he'll be using that experience fully in the late half of the league. Now, Mochi has yet to gain a victory, looking back at his previous track record. So this is the time to shine right here. Going up first, being really annoying with them long limbs from Sim to keep Akira out. I'm very curious to see if that beautiful whiff punish game and buffer god out here that is Mochi will come through against some of these limbs and get in and make quick work of the character. But again, as you said, like, how much do you know about this character? He says he has a lot of experience, but I've heard that a lot in the Street Fighter League. People say they got experience, stuff like that. Sometimes it's the other way around, where the other person just had a little bit more work to take him down.
Yeah. And that's what I do want to know as well. We're getting ready with the home team trivia as we get ourselves ready for the first match. Again, YHC Mochi coming up first against Momochi's Akira. I'm more concerned for Momochi rather than Mochi, just for the sole fact that I don't know how much experience he's had against Akira. I think he would prepare for like someone like Daigo, Fudo a lot more often than like Dalsim and Dan. But he's been streaming a lot lately. So, I mean, a lot of the times he's been putting in the work in the lab. He's also been playing a ton of ranked. So, without a doubt in my mind, I think Momochi has been getting sharper and sharper every time we've seen him play. So, as we get ready for the matches, the home team trivia is the same as Tuesday. The question is about what they feel lucky about. Mochi's saying he's been quite lucky to achieve good results in many tournaments lately, which is absolutely a blessing because we rarely get to see this living legend, to be honest with you. I know we kind of use that title towards Daigo, but YHC Mochi is definitely a legend in his own right, being one of the biggest Dalsim pioneers and really setting the tone and the pace and how the character should be played at a high level. I think, being able to see YHC Mochi more often is super important.
Daigo saying the second luckiest thing was for him to win CPT recently. He's not going to let us know what the luckiest thing he had. He's holding that close to his chest. It must be something big. If you win, winning CPT is like, that's huge, right? Like, that's massive, especially with all the killers that are out in Japan. Fudo saying, though, he definitely is his son being born healthy. So all the fathers out here always mentioning their family. Good stuff for them to kind of put the family first.
Amazing.
But yeah, it makes sense for Fudo.
I wanted to know what Moruto actually had to say about that. Maybe he didn't even get the chance to talk about what he's lucky for. Maybe if it's the players on the bench, and it's like, we'll get to you another time. But I gotta say, man, for Moruto, I'd imagine it's being able to have this kind of experience because think about it, right? You're on a squad with a very consistent placing team, not only just in CPT, but overall placement in Street Fighter League, right? Moruto, in fact, maybe lucky enough to have a successful Dan, right? Maybe the lucky fireball is going to be what saves him in the future. But as it stands right now, we're going to talk about YHC Mochi versus Mochi. Dalsim versus Akira. On paper, you're looking at how tough it can really be. Akira does have a fireball. She does have some really ignorant stuff, and I mean it with all the lightness too. Like all jokes aside, I think EX elbow being -2 is a great gap closer. But I still think other than that, when the neutral's being played out, Mochi's going to be controlling a lot of the space with the limbs, being able to set up fireball game if he needs to. Momochi is going to look for a way, little by little, to not only whiff punish, but find his key moments to close the gap against YHC Mochi. And we're going to see a lot of that in the beginning of the match.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be looking for those wins to get those whiff punishes going and coming through and coming correct. Would love to see, push him in the corner, put that V-trigger, ridiculous V-trigger mixes that he has underneath his belt, proving that he is probably the best with this character so far. But Mochi, a different beast with the sim, needs to have a win, hasn't got one. Now might be his time.
We'll see how it plays out. The last time we saw these two play again, we mentioned it. Is this? It's Dan's theme? That's hype. I like it. I love it when it's like random BGM. Sorry. I really like this song. But anyways, the last time these two played, they tied each other 2-2. Let's see if it could be a whole different outcome. I do like Momochi dashing right into Mochi's face, but I will say he was absolutely ready for it with the medium kick, and then back to phase one. Back
to square one to get it done. I like that. Make you run the distance. You got to run the obstacle course of all these long, lanky limbs, medium kick, and then throwing out the heavies and the medium punch. Now enacting that EX fireball that basically locks down the neutral. It's damn near better than most V triggers in this game. Careful the activation though. He wants it off the heavy kick.
You weren't kidding when it comes to an obstacle course. You changed it from Street Fighter 5 to Suzaku's Castle. Now it's going to be a bunch of mixes. Hey, that's not bad at all. Mochi firing away with the light hits. That was actually disgusting. Keeping Momochi away. So smart. Avoiding the mix in general. Watch out for the snipe. Down below or up above. Either way, he makes you guess and work. Let's go. I like this round one for Mochi.
So aggressive with it. I like to see aggressive Sim, dog. Sim can be played a variant different ways. Yes, to be able to stay solid and to disallow some of these, pressure sequences that could come through. I like how he went for aggression, but it's the flip, the switch mode right here, the chase down on the V shift and the stun and done. He said, let me show you aggression with the ashy elbow. Take him to the sky. Put the V skill on him, and this won't find the finish. But he's up close for that base attack, though. Stays alive. A bit of a roast. Sight roast.
Yeah, not trying to get it too well done. He wants it at least medium rare to some degree. Shinobi is that's a good way to cook the meat. But either way, so this is great. Yeah, Momochi absolutely looking for the whiff punish. There wasn't going to be too much pressure on his side of the table. I do enjoy the fact that he changed up his V skill combo instead of like going just for the corner character, he went for like the damage option and played mid-screen. I do like that a lot.
Ooh, lucky boy. Didn't get hit with the EX Fireball. Could have set up that teleport side switch kind of situation right there. Yeah, I wonder, I was about to say, how these float and aerial situations are going to be dealt with. The DP comes through in the push to put Mochi in the corner. Don't matter though. Got that teleport. We out of there. Finally escape, trying to stay fine. Drill, tech, and again, stay away from the activation. Are you kidding me? The buffers.
That was actually so sick. Momochi absolutely ready for it. This is gonna be just fine, right? He's not gonna cook up too much and avoids the mix. All right, so back into the Yoga Carpet. This might be the equalizer. Yoga Anvil. That's gonna be great for YC Mochi. He gets to even it out, but do not get caught by Daigo.
Yo, that dude, the teleport to avoid the crouch meeting kick. It's too ready.
100% too ready, and I like that from YC Mochi, getting pushed to the corner but still standing his ground, still finding the pokes he needs to, back medium kick and the roundhouse to double check Momochi's advances. He's gonna back away, reassess the situation, try to find a different way in. He needs a new route. Google Maps took him to the wrong place.
Should have used Bing.
He should have.
Drill tech. Yo, the DP. He's probably one more touch with the finish, and there it is. Into the EX Fireball, seals it. Found him up 4-1, got it done. Man, so aggressive. But I will tell you that YC Mochi definitely was big swinging out here. Almost came through in the clutch. But just the navigation of the limbs to find these hits, the buffers, and that light kick also for the finish in one of the rounds previously too, shows me that he's got the dominance in the neutral. YC Mochi though, not down out. That definitely was not free.
Round 1.
It could have gone either way. I think you're absolutely right. There was no free in any sense of the word about it. I think they went tit for tat in terms of gameplay. I think the way that YC Mochi was navigating around the things that Momochi was doing was on point. He just happened to get caught little by little. I'd say, you know, in the testament to how great Momochi's offense really is in this matchup.
I love YC Mochi swinging out the heavy kick too. Every so often, if you try to buffer with that light, you might get hit with the crush. So you gotta be super careful with it. Nice slight punish, too far out for much more, but here's the crush though. Mochi put him in the corner. Mochi, sorry. B skill. See, the mix is already coming through on my side. No mix necessary. Just
that was
damage.
actually sick. That was a really sick transition too. Making sure the most count. But here comes YC Mochi, speaking of making the most count. Yes, sir! Keep him in the carpet for a little bit. As soon as he jumps, ready for the anti-air. Nice and easy. There's so much control. Playing it. Master class. I'm loving the momentum from YC Mochi. Even after getting bodied by Daigo in that full-on combo, he still manages to find a way to escape.
STP knockdown though. Still don't matter. You can take some of this damage, it's A-okay. And that's the thing about Sim, have these good round starts so you can kind of play your way and force them to come to you to get that victory. Sweep off the feet, able to get a sight punish right there, knockdown, but isn't able to get close though. You still have to navigate the limbs. Help him.
Traffic jam in Limb City. I'm telling you right now, Mochi now stuck in this corner, but YC opts to back off. The big counter poke, a big buffer, back throw now. Momochi is trying to hunt him down. He's looking for the air option. He's trying to find his way in. As soon as YC Mochi gets too predictable with his limbs, best believe Momochi's gonna jump in.
Oh, for sure. Put some low flip out though.
He's waiting, he's navigating.
Liberating. Fierce. Ah, there's the throw bait. YC Mochi staying solid. The House of Gales to come through. And now we're evened up 1-1.
You're absolutely right. That was super smart from YC Mochi to go for the throw bait the last time they interacted with each other. If YC Mochi was just a little bit too far up and not actually at advantage, he would have definitely gone for a throw, which they've checked numerous times, right? I think that was the best time to go for the Yoga Gale. That was very, very smart from YC Mochi. Damn,
okay,
that would have been hell punishable. He doesn't give a damn.
I do like some of these things, some of the elbows spaced out in the right way because it is hard for him to play in terms of punishes unless he's got bar, but still YC Mochi gets outside the corner, that V-trigger situation. Interruption on the EX elbows, got the owlbear on him. Heavy kick activation, here we go. For the damage.
Double side switch over, now he's gonna carry into the corner. Yeah, he's going for the corner carry route instead. of just damage, which is going to be just fine. One throw away, of course he's going to tech that, and here comes the yoga carpet. YXC Mochi eats a uppercut right to the face, an EX uppercut, excuse my English, but yeah, an EX uppercut coming in, just stealing it away is the Mochi.
I like that risk and reward right there. You get the SDP going through, like you wouldn't be able to kill in the next sequence. Would have probably taken 2 right there. So again, the DP coming through on his arrow decisions. And now Mochi with the big jump in off the heavy. Picks him up with the V skill, fireball, down to the ground, hop in the corner. It's a defensive decision. Holds the throw, the stun's rising.
Out of there, yes, using the EX fireball, Yoga Fire, excuse me, to get himself out of the corner. YXC Mochi back at it again with a bunch of mediums, but here comes Daigo. Checking the movement a lot. YXC Mochi not budging, firing away with his own light normals. I do like that. Still controlling the Mochi in the neutral space. Yoga Fire jumping right above it. Here comes the drill. What happens afterwards?
The shimmy. Trying to get the chase down on the V-shift. Didn't get the full punish. One touch will seal it though. And this is real good for Sim. This is what you want to Sim. A one-touch situation from full screen. You gotta come through correct. Vicious. What's he gonna do? What can Momochi do?
If he wants to try to steal, it could be EX elbow, but of course, there's so much space for YXC Mochi to counter that. This is where it's kind of awkward. Momochi is looking for a limb to counter it, and YXC Mochi isn't even going to give it to him. He's going to let the time run down, but when he gets him to the certain threshold on the stage, that's when when YXC Mochi says, all right, well, I'm going to threaten with my normals, my medium normals. That's pretty much the green light for him to start pressing buttons. He was just waiting for Momochi to get into that space.
Foot on the pedal. DP right there. Aim the throw, caught up in the corner. Throw bait, side switch with it too, getting a little bit of punish. I like how he's immediately out of the corner situation as soon as he feels threatened, because you know what this character's gonna do. She's got really great corner pressure, so don't let it happen. The best kind of help is preventative help. You know, Apple Day keeps that V-trigger away.
That's facts, actually. Now you have to really think about the V-trigger coming in from the side of Momochi. He's gonna lead to big damage, or even just a block string, but I gotta say, YXC Mochi has done a fantastic job of stopping all the mix-ups, and this is actually a dire situation. You can see Momochi's desperate for the activation. Oh, he's there. That's the one. Stand roundhouse. He's checking the movement first. Now the throw, it's just not gonna be bad at all if you're YXC Mochi. Another throw. He can take at least 3 more.
Careful now, base guy acting could come through. Anti right there.
Oh, no,
and the super had to do it, and the
so
slide would have had to punish the CA anyway.
I love it. YXC Mochi with a big thumbs up, and I do like the awareness. You know, as soon as he escaped the corner, Momochi tried to cover the movement again and go for a heavier normal as well. YXC Mochi opted to use the V reversal and keep Momochi in the corner. At that point in time, there was no way he was going to lose control of that situation. YXC Mochi opting to use the V gauge perfectly as pretty much like the aggressor. At least the keep away game was great, and he gets to keep him in the corner. I think that's a more aggressive V reversal, and that was super smart from YXC Mochi in that particular moment.
Speaking about aggression, that's kind of what had helped him take that win. You know, being able to keep up with Akira and not get got, you know, be aggressive with the normals and make it so if you do swing, you're going to get hit with the posse with a heavy kick, crush counter situation, and make Momochi, very, hesitant in swinging out the buttons. We saw the light buffers, things like that come through, a little bit less those situations, and get a fat lead, make it even more difficult. So good stuff to YXC Mochi, finally finding a win for his team.
And that's absolutely true, right? He's played about how many times over? 4 times over. And then you're looking at his previous record. If I were taking a look at it, the last time they played, Mochi had to face off against Fujimori, but they were on the away side of things. So that interaction was pretty much forced at their disadvantage. But since then, YXC Mochi for Team Build on Beast on the away side, he's taken a couple of L's from both Shinobiism, V6 Plus, FAV Roto Z, again against Nagoya Oja Body Star, but this is his first W. You're absolutely correct. This is his first W, and for a very good reason. He is actually on the home team. Being able to send him out as the counter pick was so good.
Absolutely fantastic. Good stuff to YXC Mochi. Definitely prepared this time. He proved his words. He proved his words and sealed it for his team. That's 1 point for them. Now see who they're going to send up. I already see Daigo hold up the OK sign. They, again, have strategies. All these players, all these teams have strategies beforehand. They understand the formation of the other teams that they're coming up. They study, they're prepared. Again, Daigo giving up the OK hand signal immediately, saying he's ready. He's like, I'm going to set up the next person. We're going to see who that is in just 1 second. Fudo poison.
Yeah, so,
okay.
Yeah, so when it comes to this particular matchup, I wouldn't doubt it. I don't think there's any chance that Daigo would want to play in the mirror match. All things considered, I think Higuchi has a different kind of play style. The last time they played, let me take a look. Higuchi, where art thou? Higuchi actually faced off against Fudo and happened to lose at the very last game in a very close set. And Fudo is looking to do it again against this team. So I'm really curious to see what Daigo is going to do towards the end against someone like Fujimoro. But as it stands right now, I think Higuchi and Fudo is going to be the match to really look forward to. This is a very, very heavy match. I want to see what Higuchi has in store for this next run back. And I'm glad that they're forcing the run backs, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, it gives us more of like that beautiful kind of storyline. Like, people want the revenge. They studied, you know. It's probably going to be different because we've seen Higuchi kind of evolve a little bit. And a previous match that Higuchi played, he was a lot more calm. He's a lot more collected. A lot more like, all right, let me just stay focused. And I feel like that's worked out for them better. This, as a matchup on paper, is one of those, as Gal, you want to get the round start lead right off the bat, as soon as possible. Do not let her get going. It's going to be harder to take the trades with the booms and things like that with her whip specials. And even though some of her damage has gotten slightly nerfed, it's still a ton against a character like against Daigo, against Guile. See how I associate those two characters so much? But again, if you're Fudo on the reverse, you want to take those trades and you'll get your lead and make him come to you to get that win. Wait Team Trivia coming up. Let's see what they say. But yeah, I can't wait to see this match.
I think you're absolutely right. One of the things here is not to let yourself be susceptible in those ranges where Poison can actually get trade punishes on you with Guile's Sonic Boom, right? That's the main thing you're looking for when it comes to Guile. Obviously, you understand he only has 2 special moves, one of them being one of the best control tools in the game, which is the Fireball. His Fireball game is one of the better ones in the roster. So you think to yourself, it's like, all right, well, can I use this freely against this matchup? The answer is, against someone like Fudo and Poison in general, not as often as you think, right? A very solid Poison will understand the ranges of where you'd want to throw those fireballs and use Heart Raid to contest you, right? Although it's a trade, the meter is going to be built on both sides, but the damage output is significantly higher in Poison's favor. So if you're winding it down that way, I don't think the math would add up in Guile's favor at all. So he has to find other ways to make Fudo commit to said normals, longer normals, or even a misplaced Heart Raid to close the gap, whether in the air or maybe as even like a whiff punish or anything that he has in his arsenal. But we are going towards the away team trivia. Pretty much the same topic about what they feel lucky about. Fujimoro is saying he's found quite some nice bargains, a couple of nice bargains around half a year ago. And that's probably quite a lucky encounter for him. Hey man, thrift shopping is always a fun time, to be honest. I don't know what kind of bargain in terms of what exactly. Maybe he found a discount on fighting sticks. Who knows? Higuchi said he's quite blessed to have made it into the Shinobiism team. And I'd imagine also as well being a part of Capcom Cup this year. But overall, this young man's performance has been pretty much one for the books. This is kind of an unprecedented set of circumstances. I didn't think, Higuchi would be one of those newcomers to really put himself on the map as much as he has this year. But from the way he's been playing, now I'm not fully surprised. It's well deserved.
It's actually a beautiful thing to see, like, a lot of the young guard, the young guns coming through, really putting in work, getting CPT spots into open spots and things like that, Evo spots, all these things where it shows that the young crowd can fight back. It's not like an old dog's game where, you play for years upon years to be able to stay solid, stay victor, take the victories and stuff like that. It really shows you that if you do put in the time and effort in the work, and there's a lot of it, you can get the results. But it's going to be the young guns versus the old dogs right here. In this match, Fudo, he's been around the block for more than a bit, and he definitely understands this match. He's definitely fought Daigo a million dang times, and he understands how to stay fine against this character. The flip, we already talked about the trades. You already got the X, crack kick to go over the fireballs too, and you got to be on point to get the anti-airs. Let's see what it do.
You kind of see Higuchi was already content with getting into Fudo's space. Damn, that was a sick anti-air with a sweep. So far away.
7 frame. Quickly. Look at that trade right there. Look at the health differential. Definitely more in the side of Guile. Taking a little bit more damage, but still Higuchi with the control.
Yeah, looking at the control with Sonic Booms, right? And he's throwing off Fudo's timing so much. And I do like the idea of Fudo jumping over the Sonic Boom to kind of reset the timing of the fireballs. Just overall to kind of retain the momentum, but he's currently at a life deficit. We talked about that trade situation before. It's not gonna happen. That is such a good time to use that V-shift break because it pushes Higuchi to the corner even more, allowing him to access some of that real estate. Anti-air crouching Eagle Punch, of course. It's so powerful. It covers so much space.
Even though it's been nerfed, like, you time it right, it's still be fine. And you know if Fudo's in that one-touch situation, you're almost about to build up that bar for a super situation. Higuchi pops the trigger first. B shifts away to stay away from danger. You're a stranger. Don't come next to me. The A-Boomer, though.
Oh.
Oh.
No,
that's
way
super!
you can react to that?
No way,
That is the
Vicious.
second time I've seen that today, I feel like. This man, Fudo, was 1000% ready. Did you see him buffering? I did not see him buffer at all. I think he just went for it raw.
Round 2.
Yeah, you sent it out to the patrons. They loved it. It was on purpose. That super tartar.
No, without a doubt.
Definitely on purpose. Oh.
No way.
With the
Yeah,
first
for
with the
sure.
CA. Oh.
There was no,
So
there's
nasty,
no
man.
doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind that was not intentional. Like, I mean, Fudo, of course, you know, he has the reactions, but from that close against an EX Fireball, that was ridiculous.
That's wild. And Fudo take that momentum. Higuchi a little shook. They'll be able to right the ship.
Here we go now, activation, important tech from Fudo. That could have been pretty much game-changing. He was put him to the corner. The V-shift break, getting away from the low-medium kick. Now Higuchi in dire straits still. The V-trigger has not worked out too much for him in terms of the damage nor the mix-ups. Oh,
Big jumping
boy.
right here, flash kick. Puts him in the corner. This is where she suffers, but that V-trigger is on the line. Careful the crouching V-kick. Activation. Just does it. After that hit. Oh, no anti-air.
Another.
Goes low with, oh.
He
And the flash
committed
kick
for
to
the
finish.
crouching heavy punch. He committed to the crouching heavy punch to think Higuchi was going to stand still, but no, the jump in came so clutch. The timing was just ever so perfect. Plus frames down from the heart rate. Very important tech for Higuchi. Back to the Sonic Boom game now. In full control, but still finding the right ranges. Fudo knowing when to throw those crouching heavy punches. He does not want to make that same mistake twice.
When it happened again, no sir, not me. So the EX gets a knockdown. Again, trying to get that control right back. Will jump in, sweep, gets a crush. And the throw off in the corner. That's where she suffers. You know, that 3 frame, don't lead to too much.
Oh. And I like this again from Higuchi. He cannot lose this life lead. The last time this happened with the first round, he was in absolute full control, right? Fudo was having such a hard time trying to get around the Sonic Booms and even the normals. Even with some of his jumps, although he's reset the timing, he would get anti-aired perfectly from Higuchi. I think he has to play at a slower pace, but man, he's overcommitting a little bit. Fudo has found all the counter hits. What was that, like 4 in a row? Led him to this critical art. Now it's going to be Fudo with all the pressure coming in the world. He's just going to be controlling all of this neutral space, throwing out some of this fake pressure with crouching jabs to get in a reaction from Higuchi. No,
Gets a
not
jump
like
in
this.
though. Not like this. He did all that work. B-shift. Careful the baby boomer. B-shift's over. The overhead stays solid. The fear's too far out, but the crouch fist will connect. Fudo. Clipping him low.
Poison wins.
You can see the look on Fudo's face too. He's like, you know, that was the exact normal I got jumped in on last time. So when he actually nailed it, if you looked at his player cam, he's like, ooh, I got pretty lucky on that one. He had that look on his face. He's like, you know, I'll take that for sure. And Higuchi was like, man, I feel like he might have tried to jump, but it got caught in his pre-jump frames. That actually would have been very sick if that was the case.
I like Fudo, putting that back on the table. Like, you know, things don't work all the time, but to take things off completely is always a frustrating thing. And also, what's frustrating is big jumpers right here. As soon as the stance switch comes through, Higuchi finds a jump in on these situations. And now Fudo on the back has to be super careful. EX, that's going to be a punish. Yes, sir. V skill above that V bar. Puts him in the corner, gets a stun.
No reset into the damage. I like that. The back throw is going to be enough. Fudo knew it. Hence why the tech happened. Very delayed. Counter hit now into the sequence of V trigger. But it's the command grab V trigger. It's not even the Molotov one.
Oh. Yep, going for it right there. At the full screen though. Only thing, and caught him coming in. Go to him again. Oh, but
That
the
was
jump in
so
seals it.
good.
What a good read.
Higuchi.
Round 2.
That's absolutely a good read for sure. He didn't have any sort of fear in his mind. He went for that jump in as soon as he got knocked down. EX flash kick, make him guess. Another one, make him sit down. Well done,
in the corner.
Higuchi.
Controlling the aerial space. There's a new kick to EX. B-Skill puts a whip on him. B-Skill again for the Oki situation. But you're not biting on the shimmy. Anti-air stays in front. You're still worried about the shimmy again for this character because her throw range is longer than you would, definitely think.
That was disgusting. The whiff punish on the forward fierce. I love how the screen actually paused a little bit. Thank you, network. I love that. But no, that subtle pause is like, man, we get to appreciate the whiff punishes. That was actually pretty godlike.
Yeah, thanks. Baby, we're coming through. Empty low again. Do it to him. I'm caught up in the corner. You know what's going to happen. If I hit you with this, CA, I'm going to stay out of here. Higuchi! Oh, one touch.
Oh, man. Spoke too soon. I spoke too. I was yelling my ass off on that one. That looked like it was going to be death, but Higuchi still using the best for last. I like that too. The little shimmy towards the end, a little throw bait, something he hasn't really utilized, but that's the perfect time to do it because you're guessing for game.
Definitely dancing on his grave. I like the fact that Higuchi definitely turned up right there at the end to find that win. And that's the thing, is like you find that momentum, that control is back in your hands, and you kind of push the character to the corner because she does suffer up in the corner. Those limbs don't come out as quick. Her 3-frame, the challenge isn't as strong. And the only thing you have to really worry about is the walk-back situation on the shimmy, the crouching unit kick into V-trigger activation. But that's on the table, and you're staying fine.
A giant jump in from Fudo. That could have been actually a giant anti-air if Higuchi was there, but Fudo getting the most of it now. Close to stun. Is he going to get the trade-off? Checking the movement as well. So far away, and that's the trade-off we talked about, saying it's going to lead to a gang of damage, and ever so importantly, the guess for game situation.
I don't got to guess if I got a DP. EX edition. Didn't come for free. He is bleeding in the check. Just a walk-in, denied, damage applied. Fudo on just that point, sealing it. It's staying solid.
The kind of checks you don't want to see coming in for the pain, and instead you're the one losing the money on that. Fudo making sure Higuchi pays for all of it. Even after the direct deposit coming in from the V-trigger, he's like, nope, sorry. I'm gonna have to decline your payment.
Damn, there's interest? Like that?
You lose the money and you have to pay interest? What kind of world is he living in right now? That's awful. He needs a refinance or something.
Look out looking in the negatives, my friend.
That's so bad, yo. I know what you mean by being in the red. We don't mean it in terms of V-trigger, though. Come on, man.
He's the activation from Higuchi. Could definitely make the return over seat if he just finds a way to play. Dash in, layering on the boost to come through, counter hit. Didn't find a big conversion, though. Unfortunately, Fudo looking for that one hit to do it. Higuchi can't get placed in the negative, can't be in the negative. Oh, back this, check my wrist.
Oh my
It's
God.
icy, baby.
That was actually disgusting. The conversion from Higuchi was ridiculous off of that. Getting the full critical art as well. Fudo, though, can also make a comeback. He could have mastered off of one solid hit, and he needs even one more, actually, if he confirms into critical art. So dangerous. You know he could react to a sonic boom as well. The big punish.
Higuchi walking in. Not caring about the danger.
Oh,
Dash
no.
back though. He wants to check
No,
on
he
it.
can't afford.
But the V reversal's on the deck.
You can't afford a sonic boom. Oh, what a time to V reversal. He's in chip territory, though. He did it again. He did it again. Fudo reacted to the sonic boom again with another critical art. This man is ridiculous.
In the same set. In the same set. If you thought it was a fluke, let me show you what it do. I'm gonna let these guns sing. Fudo.
Now I understand exactly why Daigo had the A-OK sign throughout every home team discussion. His team is looking as prepared as ever. Even Higuchi was like, man, I didn't think he had it like that. To be honest with you, he tested his reactions again.
Man, Higuchi's like, I thought I had them young man reactions, but Fudo still got it, baby. 2-1 on the board, and that's 2-0 for Milodon Beast and Shinobi Gaming so far. The anchor team gotta come correct out here because Milodon Beast is turning up.
Truly pulling out all the magic. This guy is indeed the Harry Potter of the FGC. Fudo is making magic happen today, and I gotta say, This is looking fantastic for the likes of Mildon Beast. Now it's going to be Daigo versus Fujimoro coming up next. But let's take a look at these stats, right? 3 out of 8 in terms of the anti-airs from Fudo. I get it. You know, he's got a lot of recovery on some of his normals, but Higuchi, man, look at this. 9 out of 10, 90% on anti-airs, 100% when it came to invincible reversals. With stats like those, you would think Higuchi might have had it in the bag. Fact of the matter is, the big reactions from Fudo came in clutch way more often than the anti-airs and the invincible reversals.
You also gotta give a big amount of credit also for Fudo using the V system differently. As soon as the breaks were coming through to get some damage on the deck for the trades, but when they stopped working, he said, I'll just hold back with it, use the V shift instead of the break, just get away from danger. And the defense to not get jumped in on as much, kind of cancel the stance a little bit. Finding out the fact that he was like, I'm getting hit with too many things, I gotta stay clean. Fudo taking that victory. That was such a tight match, dog. That was so sick. And we still got one more. We still have the anchor match against Fujimoro with Daigo.
Man, this is gonna be so hard to watch, honestly, because these are two of my favorite players. Excuse me. English is very hard at this hour. But Daigo versus Fujimoro, right? We talked about how powerful Daigo was these last couple of days, especially with his run in CPT. But Fujimoro, in terms of Street Fighter League, has the overall better record. He is in the top 3 statistically when it comes to the wins for his team. He has absolutely decimated the competition. I don't know how often he's actually lost, but I'm trying to find it right now. Let me see. The last time he played on November 1st, he was the anchor, got a clean win against Saishukan Sol Kumamoto. Even before that, when they played against Roto Z, he took out Bonchan. Even before that, he took out John Takeuchi from Komufa Detonation, and the list goes on and on. He's taken down Gachikun. He's taken down who else? He's taken down YHC Mochi before. This man is unstoppable, actually. He's undefeated.
Robotic with it, but Daigo says he wants to end Fujimoro's winning streak. Good luck to you. I've been looking at some of the CFN stuff from Daigo for the past couple of months, as everybody does, because we all love Daigo. We all love watching him, and he's been playing a lot of camis. Been playing NL, been playing very like Yoshihibiki and things like that. But again, Fujimoro's just a different beast. We saw the hit confirms from Fujimoro off the jab and the super. Not many people are doing that, and I got to give a lot of credit also to Fujimoro today, or just in general all throughout Street Fighter League, because he has solidified this kami in a way I didn't think was even possible. He has optimized this kami in ways I didn't think was possible. Done things with the kami I didn't even seen before. But can he see the beast? Can he see the beast himself? Daigo.
It's a testament to how talented these players truly are, right? We've seen Kami not really change that much over the course of years. But when players like Akira and players like Fujimura navigate and pilot this character, it feels like a whole different beast. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous the amount of efficiency Fujimura has, and of course the amount of aggression that Akira has. It's very interesting to see those two playstyles come together.
Come together out here, best of 5, first of 3 situation. Gets in.
You see that
in the corner.
My man, he got the counter hit 3-piece. We talk about how effective this person is. He makes sure to use every part of the turkey on Thanksgiving Day. Even if there's leftovers, he's gonna be making soup out of it. This guy knows how to use everything.
And even the bones? The grease too?
For sure. Of course.
Let me take a visit. Let me take a plate to his house. He knows what to do with it.
That's what I'm saying.
He does the worst. And the way he knows what to do against his character, call up in the corner. Kami again against 4 frames has a field day, gobble him up like a turkey, and sends him out.
Are you kidding me?
Gobble him up.
That was a crouch jab counter hit confirm, yo. How did he get that confirmed into trigger? Dude, Fujimura is actually insane. That was the sickest thing I've ever seen. I almost cussed on this broadcast. That was actually disgusting. That was actually so sick.
Unusual here, Fujimura. But that's the thing, is the optimization with this character. Daigo coming through though. He's like, let me show you something different though. Let me hit you with the flip mode. Got you call up in the corner. You jab checks, walk up, throw with the dominance. Daigo, the beast is unleashed. The flash kick to do it. Hold up now. We'll talk about optimization. Daigo definitely has that. And he plays on what people want to do. That jab check and that nice little walk up, the confidence again, finds a win. Like that switch of the situation. The corner. Oh, but the dive kick up. He's the upside down kick. He knows what Daigo to do. Oh.
How does he get that kind of reaction time? He is so effective. Oh, and he gets a side switch.
No way.
Master of lethal is an understatement. This guy, Fujimoro, is so close to getting this done. He is walking up so far into Daigo's face, tempting him to press the button, but he still finds the EX flash kick. I like that from Daigo. No fear in his heart.
Down kick, takes back the turtle with the crouch union kick. Has to be smart with it. Good anti-air here from Daigo. Great reactions. Trying to even up the health. You gotta check that red. You're almost dead, Daigo. That activation comes through. He's got to stop that from happening. That's one of the best V-triggers in the game, I'm telling you.
And the back throw now, he is in definite dire straits. Any sort of hit confirm from Fujimoro, best believe it's gonna lead to lethal. But Daigo, not in too bad shape. That's gonna be
like
the
that,
one.
Like that, Vicious! The medium kick!
Oh my god. I gotta take a break. This guy Fujimura is too good. He's too good.
How? I don't understand. I don't get how you can be so optimal, how you can frustrate someone like Daigo, how you can make them play around the palm of your hand. And even with the comments that Daigo showed in that second round, the third one was definitely, again, in Fujimori's favor. You see Daigo kind of doing a nod like, okay, I see you. You kind of real with it. You got to take maybe what you learned from NL and all the other Kami players and throw it out the window. Fujimori is a different type of different.
This is definitely quite the exhibition that Fujimura is putting on for all the Kami players in the world watching this right now. Take good notes on how effective he is in playing this character.
Ooh, no! That whiff was unfortunate. Daigo beat some damage, but Fujimura down more health. Does that mean
he still catches
activation?
them from that far away. That was actually super far. And off the counter hit! My god. Saint Cola, are you kidding me? Did you see this again? Counter hit, crouch jab into the target combo. His confirms are immaculate, looking real, like a real beast, a real savage. Honestly, this is the most confirms I've seen from Fujimura in one setting. Like, of course he missed the low medium kick earlier, but off the crouch jab, that's way more impressive, to be honest.
It's one such situation where that's done and done. You put the shimmy on him, fold like an omelet. Omelette du fromage. EXTP one touch. Ooh, the cheese, if you please, with a perfect KO.
Ain't talking about no cheap cheese whiz. We're talking about the cheese on the charcuterie board. He's got 2 on the board, as a matter of fact. Daigo still looking a little perplexed as to what to do about the aggression coming in from Fujimura. Fact of the matter is, there hasn't been a thing that Daigo could do to stop him in these past couple of games. I'm curious to see what he's going to do to take time out of his busy games to figure out what to do. Again, the Guile pick I feel like can work out, but as it stands right now, Fujimura has had all the right reads against him.
He's been really good about skate 7 the back fist. I know he's been hit a couple of times. He's taking his turn back really well, but he's optimizing everything that he gets. Even these situations, I still feel like Fujimura make the comeback, and part of this optimization is getting through the fireballs just like that, get the side switch, get 2, and then pushing Daigo to the corner. Good check though. Here we go. Come on, Daigo. Here. As soon as I say that, there's a dive kick coming through.
Fujimura just reacting to the Sonic Booms from that close just shows you how ready he really is for the dive kick. I think he might be able to do it again. And he finds the mark with the dive kick regular. No EX on that, but still, Daigo actually lost his charge to walk back. I think it was just unfortunate timing.
Up in the corner now. Well, Fujimura would love to have you. With these crouch arena kicks. One more touch. Dash up though. So you're so scared of the crouch arena kick. The dash ups are starting to work out. Daigo, gotta do something. No, just get hit. Fujimura ain't gonna quit. The pressure, relentless. Fujimura on set point to 3-0 Daigo.
The delay from Fujimura was so impactful, right? Now he's really got Daigo confused because he went for back-to-back throws. He didn't take a single thing, and immediately for the last one for Guess, he threw out the crouching medium punch at the right time, and now he's trying to get up in his face. Do you see how intimidating Daigo is in this neutral phase? Like, he cannot try to throw a Sonic Boom because Fujimura can swing out any sort of normal. He has so much bar as well to react to it. He's proven that he has, and he just might do it again.
Off the corner, still dangerous with it. Boom at that distance. Yeah, Fujimori, I feel like, doesn't want to have to maybe chance like the EX spiral arrow to come through with some of these booms. Because the space can be kind of weird, but at the same time, I still like Fujimori can stay fine. He can find that he's a robotic dog. He sees the frames, 0s and 1s to get it done. Oh, there's a crush of the super. Yeah, get that lead, get that lead.
Now what do you do? Still swinging for Sonic Booms at certain areas, or certain ranges. I like that from Daigo, now swinging away with the Fierce. Yes, sir, the charge is there. Stopping the dive kick, and that's going to be more than enough for the perfect. This might be the run for Daigo. We've seen how he's done in Dire Straits. The more games that he plays, the stronger he is. Do not give this man another chance.
Level up mid-game, dog, like an RPG. EX Power on the side switch though. Back throw, there you go. This is where you live. You better have my rant first in a month.
It's double EXP for Daigo right now. When it comes to him being down 2 games, double EXP kicks in for his passive, and he levels up immensely on the spot. You can see it before our very eyes with a hefty life lead. Now Fujimori is kind of stuck. He's like in a schluck. He's like, what am I supposed to do about Daigo?
Activate, that's what I'm gonna do. For this V-trigger, put it on you. In his corner position, the neck breaker. Fujimori is still in prime position to take this. He is still on set point, missed a dive kick, didn't get a full punch. Daigo, slight drop though. Gotta be careful, can't let these things go for free. Get someone like Fujimori. Here's the super situation. Daigo gonna give us more games.
I love it too. Him, you know, we're talking about the jab confirms. Him going from jab into boom into critical art, that is a classic strategy. You know, I mean, Daigo's got that down pat since day one, I feel like, and that is actually the most clutch time to get that crouch jab to happen. We talked about how clutch Fujimori is with his crouch jabs, but best believe Daigo uses it so well to control the pace. He checks Fujimori so often to thinking there's going to be a boom coming. But man, it's all about that crouching jab, or even just jabs in general, to throw Fujimori, sending him false signals.
And you got to back up and have the distance too. You know, you don't have the 3 frame, the stay lane, you know, to be able to put some defense on him. So you have to be super careful about where you're placing everything. You got to worry about her back medium punch, aka back brainless, as the UK would say, to continue putting on pressure, that +1 situation. So you're still worried about all these things. Can Daigo stay defensive? He's getting opened up. What's inside? It's all damage, baby. It's all red. You're almost dead. Careful, Daigo.
Oh, man. So much control now from Fujimori, putting Daigo into the corner. I feel like once these life leads happen, it's so difficult for the other side to come back. But we'll see it. It might be the first time right now. Daigo finding the momentum, checking the movement against Fujimori. Very wise for him to back off.
Daigo has a lot of bar to work with. Can't even cook with it though. I think you allow him in the kitchen, I'm not sure. Sir, do you even work here?
Sir, this is a Wendy's. There's no cooking back here.
No.
We're already stabbed.
Just to the boom. Oh, now Daigo. Send out the baby boomers. The lockdown pressure. Look at him. Slowly walking behind, wait for the DP to stay fine. Could be super. Sends out the EX, the knockdown, and a meaty OB again.
Really?
Daigo.
Is that the first time we've seen the comeback happen? Fujimori had such a life lead, but since then, he turned into Daigo's punching bag.
Daigo just swing out the baby boomers to kind of cover that approach. I feel like that's been a big pain point, is being able to stay solid, get that control, and that's one way you can come through and play. You don't have to worry about them big baby like loops and things like that if you're just able to rule the neutral with those, right? You can't skate step underneath all of those if they're all out in play. In the corner we go.
Yeah, but he loses control of it afterwards, right? It wasn't fully in the corner, so he doesn't get momentum, but it's still enough to get the opening. 4-0 now. He actually gets to apply the meaty now that he's in the corner. Upside down kick to create some space. Daigo in a dire situation. The Sonic Boom pushing him back. I like that.
Introducing the upside down kick again. Careful, you saw the ace dive kick come through. And start that oppression session. Super on the deck. You know, Fujimori gonna send that too. Don't give him an opportunity. May not even need it if he gets that good crouching medium kick confirmed. Or an activation going. Oh, just like this off the medium kick. And saves the bar.
So
Set point
smart.
again. Fujimori.
Really using that medium kick at the right space, and it just makes him ever so deadly with that V trigger. That's pretty much lethal every single time. Fujimori, and wow, just walking up into his face, getting the grab like that.
Oh, caught him reaching. Fujimori.
Dash up.
That's good. Get the Oki going.
Yes, sir. 2 times over, gets the dash instead of going for any sort of safe jump. A big punish on the upside down kick. Fujimori now with all the momentum. Another throw, important tech, upside down kick. Daigo is trying to create some space again with that normal, and here comes the booms. Is it going to be enough for Fujimori to jump in that space? Right now, Daigo is looking to test it out. He's getting a little bit of chip damage, trying to get this pushback going. There it is. Yes, now he's Man, it's so hard to deter Fujimoro away from this corner. There it is. That's the signal.
Careful now, Fujimori got that activation on deck. Just needs to find the right way to play. But Daigo disallowing that. No crouch fears for you, my friend. Keep your distance. The dash up throw, though. Too quick with it. Fujimori. Get check coming in. Baby Boomers, the tech, yeah, he won that back throw situation. Fujimori said no go. Careful with the Baby Boomers. Blocking down the neutral. To the pages from Daigo. Vicious.
Oh, that could have been huge.
Oh.
It wasn't the crush counter he needed. He couldn't get a critical one off of it. Fujimori is still in a space to get this trigger activation for lethal. But Daigo, he's swinging away. EX booms back to back to back, trying to get the reset too far for the bazooka knee. Here comes the pressure coming in from Fujimori. Is he going to get hit from the trigger? I don't think it's going to be enough.
Or DP. Oh, they're confirmed with the crush. He didn't get them. Do it. Fujimori. Oh my God. Fantastic play from Fujimori all the way through the 3-1 on Daigo. Are you kidding?
I can't believe he still managed to get the clutch. He still gets the hit confirmed like that. Fujimori was on the depths of despair, I feel like. Same with Daigo. They're both at pretty much the cliff's edge. That was ridiculous coming in from both players, but Fujimori coming out the victor ever so slightly. That was quite the match. That was the match to behold, honestly. And it leads to another 2-2 scenario. As you see right here, Shinobi's in gaming. 2 points on the board, not bad in their current position. Mildom Beast getting as many points as they can in a very similar situation as Camouflage Detonation. But you know, we still have, again, 12 more days like after this one, right? 12 more days of play. So we're going to see some of these teams really pull out all the stops and get those points. And as it stands right now, Daigo just falling ever so slightly for Mildom Beast. Could have been a full sweep, could have been 4 points. But as it is right now, Fujimori continuing the hot streak undefeated. Although he has a bunch of donuts on his end, he still got the W, and that's all that matters.
Still got that win. Fujimori so strong with it. I don't know why I was fooled. To think that he was a human. To think that he had emotions. To think that this man would even consider the other person on the other side of the screen. To them, it's just another person to take down, and Fujimori with another win. Draw situation, absolutely fine for them. But man, what fantastic play all the way throughout. That match was hype. Even the one before, all these matches have been ridiculous. But that goes to show you what happens when you get to the second half. They've all been great, you know, through Street Fighter League Japan. But the second half, we have the rematches and people can, you know, find strategies and things like that. You get to see the evolution of all these players and their play. And getting them, you know, showing, you know, how, you know, all this practice, the strategy from the team down to the matches, how that all is implemented. Now we're getting the Shinobi's interview. They're talking to him for a little bit, and I'm so curious to see what they say about Fujimori. If he's man or machine, if they're going to let that secret go. And it says that Fujimori has been practicing a lot with Higuchi, and it helped. You're right.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think Higuchi can definitely play the style that Daigo likes to play at, which is absolutely beneficial in that matchup. I mean, again, there's only certain ways you can play Guile, and I feel like Higuchi has what it takes to pretty much distinguish that, like distinguish like certain playstyles from the other, and also be able to mimic that. But I will say that the way that it played out, it was like the complete opposite fashion. The first time they met, Shinobiism Gaming had a very similar start to Mildom in this one, where they had 2 games straight, and then Higuchi was the anchor, happened to fall short to Fudo, right? And then you have it as Mildom in the front end with the home team advantage, getting the first 2 games in their favor, and then falling short in the anchor match. Momochi kind of rounding out the interview saying it's tough to play against Mildom Beast as away, but he's really happy that Fujimori scored the 2 points, and that is definitely without a doubt. And without a doubt, you're going to see a lot of us there. Red Bull Kumite happening this weekend live from Caesar's Palace. You already know what it is. This is the full-on schedule of what you can expect for Street Fighter V happening starting the 15th. Again, I think they opened up, I believe, what is it, the second last chance qualifier. Actually, I'm not sure exactly. I mean, it's going to be Saturday, Sunday going on for all the Street Fighter V action. I might be doing a little secondary stream myself, but at the same time, a lot of the folks are going to be here, and it's going to be a pretty big deal.
That's why it's also a big deal. Is the Breast Cancer Research Foundation giving back. Capcom out here giving back with the DLC costumes. That's running until the 13th. So make sure y'all pick up these costumes ASAP to give back to Breast Cancer Research Foundation. All the proceeds go towards that with a $25,000 payout off the top from Capcom at minimum.
They're doing a fantastic job, not only with their efforts, but also with the costumes themselves. I really want to know who designed these two pieces because they look absolutely ridiculous. And again, you guys can get something tangible, right? You guys get to have these outfits for yourselves all the way through to this weekend. Really, there's only 2 more days left. Oh, best believe you got to pick it up because these also go to an amazing effort for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. All efforts with the FGC coming in together. We love to see it. We also love to see even more Street Fighter games coming in through Street Fighter League Pro-JP when we return after this break. Saint Cola and I are going to break down the next match between Team Gyogun and the Good 8 squad. You guys absolutely do not want to miss it. Will Gyogun get the run back after Good 8 squad completely decimated him the first time? We'll see after this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Street Fighter League Pro-JP. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the official English restream of Street Fighter League Pro Japan, coming in hot and heavy with the away team. You already know it's going to be the 2D God leading it off for Team Gyogun. And of course, followed up by Macho Bro Mr. Optimal, getting his win not too long ago with that try to tune Nikali, followed by the hero of Sunrise, Moke, pulling out all the stops with that Rashid, finding a lot of success as of recently, and of course, my man coming in hot, and I do mean with the ice-cold queen. It's Mizuha navigating that Colleen. Again, the 4 M's to fear from Team Gyoku, best believe they're looking for the upside down, which is the W.
But they have to go up against a team that 4-0'd them. Good 8 squad led by the Hiroshima Predator, Gachikun. Then behind him is going to be the next generation EVO winner, Kawano. Man, that character's ridiculous. But also who's ridiculous is Pugera, the unshakable boxer. With that bleh boxer. Rounding everything down is going to be the massive pad grappler, Kichi Pamu. Now, this team right here, good 8 squad, had 4-0 Kyogun. Beat the fish eggs out of them. Let's see who gets it done this time. This is going to be, again, another rematch, another run back. Let's see who got like that. Vicious, how you feel about this match coming up?
I can't believe you said beat the fish eggs out of him. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. That was pretty good. We see how it played out, right? Kichi Pamu, Gachikun, and Pugera pretty much swept the opposition. You saw Mizuha, Machibo, and, of course, Mago fall pretty heavily, but it's going to be kind of interesting because of the fact that they're still stuck. Or actually, they are now in the away position. They don't have the advantage of being able to choose, but it's 2 Camis and a Colleen. But hold the phone a little bit. It might not even be the case. Oh, actually, no, they have solidified. It's going to be Camis regardless. I was hoping to see Machibo's Nikali come in again.
Yeah. Free Nikali, man. I'm trying to see that character too, but on the bench for a second. They're going to be seeing a lot more of the Kami play. I like this team right here. Good 8 squad. Really have to deliberate. And that's a lot of strong characters on that side, a lot of strong team members. And they want to have the win in this run back. You definitely do not want to give them any sort of victory and stuff like that. You already beat them soundly. Do it to them again.
Right.
Have the home discussion. Moki on the bench. So now let's see what Good 8 squad does in response.
We'll see how it plays out, right? I think, overall, with the way that this went off in the first set of matches, I believe they were the first match to start off Street Fighter League. That was Gyogun versus Good 8 Squad. Despite getting an 0-4, they've done pretty dang well for themselves throughout the entirety, actually up until this point, because they're well within the top 5. I think they're, 3rd currently. These guys are actually, or even, within the top 5 at least. So they're doing just fine. But we do have the home discussion of who's going up first. Mago's Kami is going to be the main target right now, but it feels like Kawano will be going up first. Gachikun was actually giving a motivational speech. Kind of trolly, but I would have loved to hear what the actual translation was for that. Pugera surprisingly on the bench for the home team squad.
I mean, it kind of makes sense when you see the characters on the screen. Kami does very well against Boxer, and I think Colleen kind of does well as well. So on a character kind of side, I can understand. But man, what do we see Pugera come through? He's been getting better with switching back and forth to V-Skill 1 and 2. But let's go back to Kawano out here. Evo Chan going up against the Kami pick, a character that can kind of play the ground game with Kami, can stave off the dive kicks with the parry situation. And Kawano acknowledges that Mago is a strong player, but he's been preparing for this matchup. I bet he's been preparing not only for the Kami pick, but also Mago himself.
So, I do like this matchup overall. It could be pretty volatile in terms of what happens once V-Trigger is activated from both sides, right? I think Colleen could play a very mean neutral game, but Kami does it just a little bit better. She could also steal it away, or at least be a little cheaper with access to a dive kick. But if read correctly, Kawano can do a lot about it. That leads to a significant advantage, right? I'm talking about the parry. If he gets an anti-air parry, not only does he get a gang of damage, but he also gets an access to pretty much Oki. He does get access to pretty much the icicle setups. But I'm kind of curious now to see not only the home team trivia, but I want to know what it is about Mago sticking to this character, Kami. This is the character that propelled him to Capcom Cup, but I see him dabble a little bit with Karen still in Street Fighter League, as well as Akira.
Yeah, I wonder what maybe it's just the danger of the aerial approach. Maybe he feels like he can get through the parry situation and threaten enough with empty jumps and things like that. But Pugera says that he tends to win lucky draws from attending wedding dinners. So, if you want to win something from a wedding dinner, don't invite him. keep him on the bench for that too as well. But that must be a lucky draw right there. You know what? Also, who has lucky draws during wedding dinners? Maybe is that a Japanese thing? Because at American ones, we do not have any draws at all. I've never been to a wedding like that where you have like raffles and stuff.
That's actually kind of interesting. I also want to know how many times Pugera has been invited to weddings to have that kind of statistic. For him to notice, be like, hey, I've been really lucky to I've won a good handful of these. Like, why is this happening? Like, you have to be invited to a significant amount to actually take notice of that. It's like, I've been winning a lot of these draws and raffles lately. It's kind of weird. But it's a very interesting statement. Kawano said he's been eating a lot of ramen, but he's discovered some nice udon recently, and he likes cold udon, so maybe that's what he's feeling very lucky for, being able to find such clutch food places. And as a foodie, I gotta say, man, there's nothing better than finding a new spot just randomly and it being ridiculously good. Then you get to tell your friends about it. It's like, yo, next time you're here, go through to this spot. I kid you not, order this and that. It's actually ridiculous. Now I gotta hit up Kawano and be like, hey man, next time I'm in Tokyo, you gotta tell me, or at least wherever he's at. I'm gonna be like, hey man, you gotta hit me up with all these ramen spots. I'm gonna hit him up on Twitter. You guys should do the same. If you guys have been following along Street Fighter League Pro-JP, make sure to show all your support for some of these, or all of these players really, and also hit up Capcom_esports for all the latest and greatest in terms of news for Street Fighter League and Street Fighter 5 in general. Y'all need to show some love to these players out here.
Dude, for sure. I feel like a lot of people don't understand how many they also stream too as well. So you can also people in their streams, Milodon, YouTube, and Twitter, also for Capcom as well. You can kind of see like firsthand for some of them. Not all of them stream at the same time, but you can also catch some of their practice. Let's see if that practice is paid off against Mago, against the character that is Cammy, the Scammy Cammy.
Round 1.
Let's see how it do. Kawano's got the game plan locked a little bit.
You see, it's kind of a slow pace, right? You're kind of looking at a little bit of a reluctancy in terms of actually testing with normals, but Kawano actually striking first blood, and no confirm from low, the low from Mago.
No space, Parabellum. Hard to punish. Kawano definitely labbed that out to make sure that he's at that right distance. Starting with the light and the medium. There we go into the EX. Connects. Put him in the corner. With the last part of the Parabellum. That extra bit of damage and the throw. Put him in a coffin too as well.
I love the counter pick game coming in from Kawano, and now Mago finding the opening with the crouching medium kick, still so far out the corner. But look at the amount of life he's taking out, and we talked about how volatile the situation can really be. Now you're actually stuck. Here comes that ice, better be blocking, and the hesitation, breaking the ankles, actually breaking the wrist, using crouching medium punch and stopping Mago dead in his tracks in the corner. I like the start for Kawano.
It's actually been fantastic, controlling the pace of the light kick. Threatening with that approach. If you send out the crouch medium kick, I will find a whip punish, and I will seal the deal. EX dive kick coming through. As we talk about, the aerial approach might be difficult if you come through in different sorts of ways. Get some meaty, no vegan. That spiral arrow keeps on the Oki. Activation, freeze the screen, side switch. In the corner. How are you gonna find your exit sign?
Yeah, he's still stuck on the freeway. He's trying to find the exit. He's making one for himself. He actually built his entire on-ramp because of that whole sequence. Now Mago is going to be backing off with the life lead.
He's right on top of the cars. You got to get to work. And Mago is working Kawano. Checking him on that dash.
He's riding a monster truck to work. He's just smashing everything on the way over.
Sunday. Mago comes to play. Dive kick coming through against the anti-air. Uh-oh. Wake up back though. Defensive into offensive. Dangerous.
Man, Mago still pressed the button after the frame kill from Kawano. He was not afraid at all to wake up with buttons. Want to confirm. Almost crouching medium punch. Another one off the lights now. The throw, that would have been a back throw. Kawano definitely knew it. But now he's looking for a trigger activation. Can he successfully find it off of a hit?
Intercepting those crouching medium punches that we saw Kawano do, taking a page from his book. One good super will seal it. One good sequence in the super will seal it. Mago knows. Kawano gotta stay solid. We'd love to have an activation, put him in the corner. Like this, off the light, but 2 for all right. And Mago staying solid in that situation.
Low forward confirm, looking so clutch. Mago definitely has those kind of reactions. Low forward confirm, that is an absolute staple in the book of Mago. This guy has it all, and it's definitely going to be playing off really well. Getting the first game against Kawano in that fashion, He was in a very tough situation in the first round. It looked like it was smooth sailing for Kawano, but man, Mago turned it up to an 11 pretty early.
Right, and some of that was just go too far for the light confirm right there, unfortunate. Mago, though, as a top-level player, being able to capitalize on these mistakes, and now capitalizing on the Oki situation. Parry, though, side switch with it. You said, laying down the ice, no, going for the throw bait. Oh, no. Side switch, though. Again, Mago got him caught up in the corner. That walk speed, back and forth, looking for that whip punish.
Oh, a big counter poke there coming in from Kawano. Off of the standing medium punch, dash up 2 times over, still applying the meaties. No impossible meat here, it's all real. 100% meat.
I don't care what nobody says. The possible meat do not be tasting the same. I don't care what nobody says. This character dumps out a ton of damage. 1 EX bar, break the arm. Kawano finds a finish, takes a round. But we saw how this went down. Last time, it was a similar situation. The Mago got that momentum, kept it going.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're going to possibly see that with the amount of... Dang! I was going to say the amount of meter that Mago has, but I got to say Kawano firing away with the fierce. That's what I was talking about. That's what I was looking forward to, but still busting out EX uppercut. Mago 100% not afraid against Kawano's setups. That was so much damage, too.
Gods don't fear, dog. Gods don't fear at all. Now Mago wants that activation. The crouch fear situation. Walking Kawano down.
We'll see.
Good challenge.
We'll see how Kawano reacts to it, though, right? What's a god to a non-believer? He's going to be able to control this pace with the utmost confidence. Look at that, just chipping away at Mago. There isn't enough to make him break this discipline.
Yeah, no need to overextend. Get your win right here, Kawano. You don't have to do too much. Just poking away. Nice and easy with the footsies. Back heavy kick. Just don't let things get whip punished. Nothing lingering like that. The crouching kick confirmed. But again, the EX parry puts him down to the ground. Good bait. It was a good bet, too. And finds a finish. Kawano sitting out that parry situation. That was smart because you had the health to play with, right? Like, if it would have went bad, you still got some health in the bag and stay solid. Oh.
And he was just playing with it a little bit. He didn't fumble the bag entirely, right? He was making sure he was playing with side money and not actually with the mortgage. This guy, man, he still has a home here. He's got 1 game on the board. He still has his estate, and it's going to be very tough for Mago to call now. We're going to see a lot more activity coming in from Kawano. We already see how aggressive he was at the start of that back roundhouse. And speaking of aggression, here comes Mago starting things off with a lot of the medium pressure, right? Standing medium punch and getting all the work done. But still, Kawano meeting him air to air. Here we go now, spinning the bar.
Parabellum on a dash up with it, gets a meaty again, finds a finish in the stun. Let me see what that setup. Double heavy kick, back heavy kick, Parabellum, give me a little bit of damage, just look off in the corner. Mago not daring to bust out just yet. Come on, going back to that lane game right there. Nice and easy with the pokes to find that finish.
Getting out of control right now. Okay, finds a low forward now for Mago, but still no meats at all. He was going for the substitute meat. And Kawano getting with the real deal, getting the armbar on the way down. Let me tell you about the meats.
It's that pork, chicken, beef, got it all. Mago about to fall. This is set point right here. Kawano with the air-to-air right there. And I like how he, instead of just, I like that parry, never mind. What I like is my man running the parry game on reaction.
That was so deep. That was at the tippy toes, too. He was tiptoeing in his Jordans. I can't believe it. That was a jab confirm into the trigger. Now, it's going to be so dire for Mago. If he gets stuck in this corner as the speed trigger is active, oh boy. This might be it. Can he get a reset? He does get the reset. Forward throw is enough. Rock bottom, eliminating Mago from the situation. Kawano making sure that he is the dominant one. That was actually the perfect time to set up that reset. Very well done from Kawano.
That practice paid off. You know, it was looking a little shaky as Mago started to put on a little pressure, but it's when Mago lost that health lead that Kawano had his game plan on lock, and we saw a lot of the normals that were giving him problems take off the board, the anti-crouch fierce. He was like, cool, if that's not working, I'll meet you in the skies. No surprise, I'm gonna bat you down to the ground with that EX, also the EX parry to delete the die kicks off the table. Mago, look, he looks lost right now. Lost in the sauce right now. He's like, dang, what happened? That was supposed to be me in the victory spot.
It was tough, man. It was guess for game. It was a guess for game moment. As soon as he spent that bar, it was like, I have a lot of time to sit and deliberate what's going to happen after the EX Parabellum. I have a couple of choices here. I throw, I delay it, I EX uppercut, what have you. But as it stands right now, Mago couldn't really take that chance. Although he was 1-for-1 in invincible reversals, he wasn't willing to make that bet again, which is pretty interesting because, Mago has been getting a lot out of taking some of these risks. But I will say, frigid and timid is what he was feeling against the Ice Queen, piloted by Kawano. As you see, 5 out of 6 in terms of the anti-airs. And a lot of that came through what we prefaced it earlier. We were talking about that parry being a main factor against the dive kicks. And it came in. Once he let those rip, you're taking, 200 plus damage and Oki? Man, it's intimidating.
Now the first one on the board, good 8 squad with a good start. They're practice prepared. That shows you the depth of, the players out here being able to be practice prepared. Even if they've already taken a victory from them, they know that the other people want the heat. They want that smoke. So they will come through and come correct. Now the good 8 squad having a discussion. Gachiku says immediately, we're done with discussion. They had a discussion and they were just frame 1 done. They're like, oh, no, we good. We know what we're going to do. Whew.
It has to mean Gachikun's coming up next, right? He wants to use the Rashid versus Kami matchup, or they're going to actually put Kichipamu in. He's actually going to put Kichipamu in, you madman! I don't know about that one, to be honest with you.
Ooh.
Are they trying to play... So, alright.
Fuck it.
So, St. Cola, I think I understand. So, even if Gachikun might have the advantage against Machibo as a player, Rashid versus Kami, I think they want to go for the points here. So if Kichipamu ends up being the anchor against Colleen, that's still kind of a toss-up because of how Mizuha played off against, I think, people like Itazan as well. He had very much so played against the matchup. But I think overall, if they really want to secure it statistically, they want to ensure Gachikun in the anchor spot just in case. Which is kind of interesting to say though, because I still feel like if you were to play it that way, then you could have maybe gone with Pagera, but who knows? Kichipamu himself, I guess, putting himself next, says he's 10 times more confident in the Caddy matchup using Zangief than anybody else. So maybe he'll show us something that we haven't seen yet.
I'm hoping so. I mean, anybody saying they confident about no Kami matchup, dog, definitely different. I will believe it. If you say you're confident, I believe you. And here's some Gilgun trivia. Mizuha says he's lucky to recover the phone that he lost 1 month ago. First of all, you lost your phone and you found it. Second of all, you lost it within a month's time and still found it. The police sent it to him. Oh man, we must be a different country because I would not get my phone back here. Just being real, I would not get my phone back here. That is gone. But yo, shout out to Mizuha being able to recover his phone.
Yeah, that's good. That's super clutch, actually. That's really, really convenient because a lot of people would be lost without their phone. Like quite literally, man. People use that to navigate around places, and you can see how much it means to a lot of these players. Man, they're like thinking about it. It's like if I lost my phone, that would have been actually ridiculous. But moving on to the next player, Mago actually says he's lucky to stay alive because he actually had bone fracture 4 times because of him being too curious about things. I don't know what that entails, man, but I'm also glad he's still on this planet. Mago talking about some, near-death experiences, but all jokes aside, man, whatever and how serious it may be, I'm glad he's still here too because he had some very memorable moments for all the Street Fighter fans out there and has also had some fans for himself. So, again, speaking about how unfortunate they are in general, some of their lucky situations that I guess I should say the things that they feel lucky about. Mago giving us a pretty serious tidbits. But speaking of serious, we're going into the next match, Kichipamu Zangief versus Machibo Kami, and it's not even the Nikali, but I will say it is 2 out of 3. As you all know, Machibo is still able to change characters just in case.
I feel like we're kind of praying for that, right? Just to see the Nikali pick, just to see the character on the screen. But, this is one of those weird matchups where, on paper, I feel like Kami does fine because of her toolkit, but all it takes is one good flex, one good EX SPD connects. All it takes is the damage built up from the mediums from this character, because Gift can play footsies pretty well. All it takes is just like one mistake on the side of Kami to get absolutely smoked. So Kichipamu, he understands this, he knows this, he believes in his reads. He believes in himself, he believes in his reads, he believes in his victory. But Machibo, we can't count this dude out. He's still strong with the Kami pick, plays a bit different than the other Kami players, and I wonder if Kichipamu is ready for that.
Yeah, when it comes to Zangief players, we only have two. It's Itabashi and Kichipamu, two vastly different playstyles as well, both with the discipline, though, in terms of playing the situations that they need to and playing it by ear. I will say, in terms of offense, though, both are equally scary. Like, once they get started, it's so difficult to get them off of you. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. We talked about how Kichipamu is feeling extra confident. Let's see how confident he is exactly against someone like Machimo.
Yeah, it's all fun and games, and then she starts getting into with the crouch mini kick spiral arrow Ogi situation. They call up in the corner, and then you start feeling a little bit unusual. But again, let's see how things operate. There's that medium punch. Chopping away, one of the better tools of the neutral for this character. You gotta worry about that flex. To get in, I mean, to get your win, you have to get in, right? As Cammy, you don't really have a fireball, so you have to find those poke situations. Things like this are good, but one good flex could swing it right in the favor of Geef.
No, without a doubt, right? And we kind of see that kind of moment where Kichipamu is willing to play it out with the medium kicks. He's like, okay, I'm either going to flex, move on in, or if you mistime it or misplace it, I'm going to throw away my standing medium punch to counter it. Yeah, that's the flex I was looking for, but that's the one again!
Cancel though. Watch you eating away. Getting the flex, get a little bit of punish to stop that approach. Get trigger popped. I'll be whipping nothing. Oh, there it is!
God.
Even more flex armor on that. DP wakes up with the violence though, Machimo. Still, spin the rest of the V-trigger to pull him closer.
It's so scary, right? Being able to just crouch jab your fears away against someone like Cammy. That's going to be critical art. Machimo misses opportunity. And
He's seen rear back from that too.
He absolutely did. He knows that he messed up. He actually could have gotten a full confirm. He could have got the confirm into uppercut into critical art. That would have been more than enough to kill the big fella.
Yeah. See if you can stay solid. You gotta be careful in this matchup. Obviously, you do not have the help to play with. Geef does. He can take a lot of the hits, right? We've seen that as a defensive tool, but now you call up against the corner. The throw pressure deletes a lot of what Geef wants to do for defense. Can't run the fierce. That's off the table. Can't run the flex. That's off the table too. The walk-up throw. The Tundra Storm. I've seen that moving a bit. Is that DLC? Vicious, is that DLC?
Was it a certain, I guess, a certain season? Not necessarily DLC, but my man got some additional features, if you know what I'm saying. Stopping all of the kicks, and I love it. It was meant specifically for this matchup. Oh my God, how far was that?
Too much distance on it. From downtown all the way at the end of the cul-de-sac. Walking him down looking. Don't let him get close. Don't let him get... Oh, the sweep!
It's too late.
Super!
Planning him in the Saturday Slam Masters mat in Metro City. Best believe it's not a pay-per-view event, but it's still coming to you live either way. I love the show that Kichipamu's putting on with this Zangief in a considerably tough matchup against Cammy.
Bro, again, that confidence, Kichipamu just showed me with that. The B skill, the flex, even with situations where you're looking dire, you're caught in the corner against this character where most people would break like brittle. You know, I feel like he understands it's a one touch into super, into a ton of damage, and now he's on game point.
Does get confirmed early. Machimo still managing to get his throw attacked, and now has to face, or excuse me, back away a little bit because of how active Kichipamu was with these medium punches, but still finds a confirm from the low medium kick. Forward throw, gets a meaty situation, does get the counter hit confirm as well. Forward throw now, the stun is racking up. He needs at least a couple of instances. Watch out for the flex!
Oh! All right, misses. He's into him. One touch and yeah, waited for the end of the flex to find the punish. Good stuff, Machimo. A little bit less with the risky movements right here. I like just finding these confirms to deal with the flex a lot better. Like waiting for it to end, find a punish, get your win.
Yeah, I agree. I think Machimo was taking a little bit less risk, whereas Kichipamu was taking a little bit more risk. And I do like this early release of the critical art. You do move yourself to the middle of the screen, and you get an Oki opportunity.
Open those mediums, open them up, counter hit. Oh, no! Neutral jump, not up for the stun. Didn't have the DP EX addition to get it done. Machimo is that one-touch situation. Just needs to poke away.
Ooh, no punish that there from Machimo, but now you're giving him too much time. That is a heavy SPD. EX uppercut, Machimo immediately taking a sip. He's like, yeah, I'll take that risk. I'll definitely take that risk. What are you gonna do afterwards? Well, don't answer that question because Kichipamu actually had full critical art. He actually had full critical art. Like if he gets a punish, like with a normal, like say he gets like a counter hit, forward heavy punch into critical art, that would have been a gang of damage. So don't answer that question.
Kichipamu taking a second. I wonder if he's gonna maybe go towards Abigail. You know, he's dabbled in that character before. We've seen it come through every so often. You know, throughout his gaming career. I'm curious to see if he's going to pull out for this matchup. I don't feel like it's that good this season because of the anti situation being a lot less for Abigail. You know, the 4 fierce, things like that. The anti just in totality for the character, a lot more predictive. So that might be more difficult. However, the damage differential definitely in favor of Abigail.
You know, I agree. I think there's a little bit more that Abigail could offer to the table than Zangief can in terms of this matchup, but I think that Kichipamu has gotten away with a good amount. I think he's got some pretty good mileage off of a couple of the tools, right? Playing the footsie game pretty decently, I would say. Using that V skill to kind of intimidate Machimo and actually use it as a tool to get around some of the biggest threats that Cammy has, aka the dive kick. So he is going back into Zangief. Again, he was talking about how confident he is with this character. He's 10 times more confident in the Cammy matchup using Zangief than anyone. So we'll see how it plays out.
Trade still in favor of the man with the more health, that is Geef. I'm going to take these. Walk towards him, look at him. Oh, you thought? You better stay sucker free on the Sunday. Nice punish.
I feel like Machimo doesn't know what to do against the flex. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah, man, you can walk up and throw, get it gone. He shift, gets a little bit of damage. Poking away. I like how he's using the V-bar too to stay solid in some the defense situation because getting caught up in the corner has eaten a lot of health from Kichipamu. So if the crouching kicks don't come through, you don't have to worry about the spiral arrow situation. Now he's poking away.
Oh. And there's so much that Kichipamu needs to do. Even though Cammy has just very little life left, there's so much he has to worry about. He doesn't even want to try to throw out these crouching jabs. He's getting counterpoked heavily right now from Machimo. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Nice and easy towards the end. He found a single opening. He's like, all right, well, I have the advantage here. I get to press it a little bit more.
On that bar at the bottom, if you land a super, you'll be in a fat lead. You get Oki, the style and wild profile on. There you go, Masha will take him into the corner with the spiral arrow, gets the meaty on the wake up, the counter hit situation. Back throw though. Not where you want to be, but your Cammy. EX connects. The EX SPD gets the Oki, and you're still caught for the corner.
No, he hits the back throw still. Machimo taking a huge risk. Getting himself out of the corner though successfully. Oh, that could have been dangerous too. That Dragon Swoop could have came in, but instead gets the full confirm. There's going to be more than enough. Machimo is going to be tying it up. Both players at match point, but at a hefty price to pay. You can see Kichipamu kind of wincing a little bit, but he does have full critical art. If he gets a solid hit, I'm close. Or even have the threat of the reversal, it could be all... Ooh, that's a great way to use it first.
Oh my God. Because he's one of those bars. You don't get back anyway. And you know that Machimo wants to put the bar on his side, but it's a bit harder because you're taking the risk to get close to this character. And all you can really poke with is that medium kick, that crouching kick every so often. But you have to be careful of the flex because we saw what happens if that connects. Man, you... Okay, waits it out. I was about to say that was looking real bad. Finds just a dash up throw to stay solid. Here's the crush. Oh, it's a super! Put him in the court like an earthquake. This set is adjourned. Order in the court.
Sit down, Cammy. Sit all the way down. I know they're in the stage of Italy, but he brought his ass to Spain without the S. He is definitely in pain and in the pavel. He is actually in the pavement, I should say. He is done so. That was actually super smart from Kichipamu to get the rest of that combo and build just enough critical art. This man is an absolute beast. He is quite a unit. I gotta say, his Zangief is one of a kind.
Bro, I love the fact that he just hops on these big body characters like a Gundam and pilots them to victory, staying solid. Look at them, finally breaking kayfabe right there because he was like, I'll just be serious with it. But no, we know the joy it feels when you hit that super situation on a Cammy, and taking the victory. Good stuff from Kichipamu. You see only one of the anti-airs coming through in the clutch, one of the other ones not so much, and zero obviously reversals on the side of the character that doesn't have them. 3 for 3 though from Machubo. Got to give him credit there with the HDPs coming through. Invincible style. Got 100%. No anti-airs though, because we didn't see much in terms of jumping from Kichipamu. He knew what to do. Stay grounded, stay solid, and found his victory.
Speaking of victories, right, a lot of the members, actually majority of the members in Good 8 Squad, in fact, everybody, I should say, let me come correct, everybody in Good 8 Squad has a win rate higher than 50%, which makes absolute sense because they're currently in the top spot, right? These are the players that are currently in first place, and I'm talking about Good 8 Squad, as you saw the camera kind of pan over right when I said that. This team has been in like back and forth between first and second in like the first couple of weeks, couple of days actually, not even a couple of weeks, couple of days, and have solidified themselves in first place and is looking to do so again. Are we going to see another 4-0 from Good 8 Squad? Are we going to see a Good 8 sweep again?
I feel like this would be really detrimental to someone's momentum, their mentality, to their morale, because it's like we got 4-0 again on the run back. Gachaku's Rashid coming up as the last spot on the dot. Mizuha, how much do you understand this matchup? Do you understand this at a high level? You know, Mizuha, obviously a threat, right? But Gachaku's fought some of the best in terms of Collins. I mean, you seen him fight Kawano multiple times over the course of his fighting game career, and many other Collins too as well. Mizuha got to show us something different, because this might be another sweep. Here we go, Gachaku versus Mizuha. Man, it's looking bad. It's not, I ain't gonna lie, it's looking bad. But Mizuha can show something different. I feel like the footsie game not too bad for this matchup of Rashid, but can't get caught up in the corner. The throw pressure this character puts on deletes a lot of the defensive options. You can't vanity step and stuff like that out of these situations if you're Mizuha. So you have to be really perfect on your button presses.
And I agree. This is a matchup he actually hasn't played yet throughout the entirety of Street Fighter League, but best believe just overall, he's played a handful of Collins without a doubt. But yeah, as it stands right now, although being at 50% win rate or above, 50% at least in the win rate for Gachikun, I feel like this is a matchup that's going to pretty much test his limits. I think this is one of the matchups that actually could be great for Mizuha, but we'll see how it plays out. I think Gachikun might have the upper hand here, so we'll see how it goes. Again, this is the first time, I think, this is indeed the first time Gachikun is facing off against a Colleen player, and it's in the hands of Mizuha. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, so Gachikun had called everyone out to cheer for their team because they worked real hard. He had no choice but to bring that 4-0 home. I mean, you a savage. He's like, listen, I had to do it to y'all. It ain't personal. I'm gonna get the job done. But here we go, though. Mizuha finally confirmed, put him in the corner. Rashid never here for that long. Got many ways out for the escape, especially when he gets the EX bar built. And that bottom Bailey's wall jump, too. You gotta worry about that. See Mizuha back in for that back heavy kick.
Yeah, you gotta train pretty hard for that one, honestly. Here comes Mizuha now with the forward throw. Triple dash over, just in case. And he does get the low as well. That was a delay, too. You see the counter hit against Gachikun. Oh, gonna stop him with that target combo. A big throw bait as well. Mizuha is in full control. He's trying to make sure this full sweep doesn't happen. But I will say, being best of 5, Gachikun has had a record of pretty much taking a pretty significant L in the beginning, but making the proper adjustments. Maybe this is one of those times where he's trying to get that information against Mizuha. Already opening with the low medium kick. Important tech right there, but still stuffs him in the face with forward medium. Full counter hit combo.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That throw to the lethal bandy step, you can't leave, my friend. Even the parry situation will get got. Hold this DP. One touch situation. Actually, just a throw. EX edition. Hold this pressure. There you go. The perfect KO.
So important getting the throw game established early, as well as Gachikun, or excuse me, as Rashid playing as, let me fix my face. Either way, so Rashid, again, getting this corner situation so early, especially with the throw, it's so difficult to get out of, especially when he has meter, because it's just constant pressure over and over again.
We saw the deal with whatever EX came the way of Mizuha. So your defensive options are just a little more deleted. That's going to be a punish. Tried to pay out the crouch fears, but just didn't get it. Good blocks and defense in Mizuha. Now going on for the offense, putting on the target combo, counter hit. A little bit of parabellum interruption on the activation with the fierce.
There's the activation from the medium kick. Back throw now. Trigger is going to be enough to get the block strings going and push Mizuha. No, Gachikun doesn't want to overextend. Gonna
Love that bar B skill.
One more confirm could be it, actually. And speaking of confirms, oh!
Woo! More trade. Extension with those normals. The corner pressure, we talk about that from Rashid, but it's real good from Colleen when she's got the bar going. There's a V trigger. When it's popped, locked, and loaded. One touch on either side. Try to get that chip applied. That's going to spin that EX bar for that dash up throw situation. It erupts a bit. He's not vicious. He's ready. Prepared.
What a reaction there from Gachikun. Complete confidence in those crouching jabs against the step coming in from Mizuha. You see him going orange. Gachikun was 1,000% ready for it.
Ooh, okay, Gachikun definitely labbed up and prepared. Staying solid in situations where he knows he wanted to come through in the neutral with that EX vanity step. Let's see how it do right here. Mizuha actually fighting back though. Like, this is definitely not for free. You see Gachikun definitely sweating. This is not for free, and I like that Mizuha definitely has matchup knowledge on his own end. He even interrupts the activation, now put the target combo on him after that medium. Parabellum, knock him down. Max distance, max range, only crushing light for a little bit of damage.
Very interesting for Mizuha to kind of back off that far away. He went pretty much full screen. He was looking for something, some sort of wide movement from Gachikun, but it didn't even come through. So now you just see Mizuha trying to stay a lot closer, but still eats the V-trigger enhanced Eagle Spike, and now it's all Gachikun keeping him in blocks and still getting the managed to get the throw against Mizuha. Big activation now. What happens afterwards?
Knocks him down. Sending normals. A crush counter possible. Bar winding on the side of Mizuha, but he's been really good about spinning it at the right range. About to range that face. EX, double down with the bar. Missed the second part of the javelin. Cecile, don't let Gachikun come back like that. Crush fears. Go, but the buffer of the light. Interruption.
I love it. Man, Mizuha finding all the right times to get that buffer going. That stand light kick, why not? That was so clutch from Mizuha.
Because it's non-committal. So you throw that out, you're not going to get, punished that badly.
Right.
We out of there.
No, you're absolutely right.
Double jump.
We talk about the Barnum and Bailey's, right? When you talk about the jumps from the corner off of Rashid, and Colleen also has that kind of escape option. It's a little tough to manage, and you see Gachikun hasn't really done anything of it yet, but we'll see how it plays out if Mizuha tries it again. Standing fierce, standing his ground actually with his normals. Crouching heavy punch finds the mark this time. Still so patient with it, just getting a little bit of block change. Scotty the parry, the wrist!
Parry!
Ice coming down, let it snow. Ugh. Christmas comes early. Checking the lows.
Little toes, heavy kick activation interruption of that button, finds a crush counter. EX coming through with the parabellum, set up for the stun. There we go, finally lands it, gets it done. Mizuha! Oh wait, the scaling's so heavy with it.
Oh, you cannot do that move in my arena. There's no way you're allowed to jump off the wall. I'm gonna stick to you like glue. My man said he's gonna keep it true. There's no shenanigans in my space like that. He's taking it to your face, and he's gonna be completely dominating the control the corner like that. Mizuha with absolute confidence in that jump throw. He knew Gachikun was gonna use that as a defensive method. He's seen it before.
We've all seen it. We've all seen that character taking the skies off the backboard like that. That's some Harlem Globetrotter stuff. And the way that he just dealt with it confidently, as you just said, is going for the air goal. I love that, because that's going to take it off the table for a little bit for Gachikun. Like, okay, I can't go with this option. Are you kidding me? And the fierce, the crush counter conversions, the corner carry, things like that are starting to add up. And Mizuha finding these confirms. We saw him drop the the javelin, the second part of the javelin after the EX. Not the second time though. Stay solid and now find a win. Come on now, Mizuha fighting back, fighting back. We'll talk about 4-0 dog, not today.
I like that. Yeah, keeping it alive. I do like Mizuha's efforts so far in every aspect of his game, right? He's making sure he's as efficient as possible, not only with his meter, but in the neutral, finding the right tools to buffer with, to kind of counterpoke Rashid. And also, we saw that last spectacular effort to stop the defensive movement from Gachikun. We'll see how it plays out for the rest of this set. Who knows?
Again, setting up the fears. I get the parabellum, that corner push. Gachikun push to the wall.
Oh,
Assistance.
Crouching heavy punch and still finding low. Oh my, a whiff punish off of the medium. I like that a lot from Mizuha. Off to a great start. Watch the stun. Back throw, how unfortunate. Now it's all Gachikun. This is exactly where you don't want to be against a machine player ever. EX vanity step. EX spinning mixer.
EX
what is happening?
We slug it out here. Sweep activations. Oh, the miss. Whatever. That could have been a dive kick off the backboard just too far out. And again, Mizuha finds a finish. I wonder if he was trying to get off the backboard again, or if he was going for a dive kick. Either way, Mizuha was down waiting for him on 4-1 and got it done. Oh, he heard the ding of the doorbell. He said, I'll take that. Damn, Mizuha.
Man, his DoorDash actually came in on time. Oh, he's tipping extra for that.
That 20%, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I mean, the way that he's been playing, he might be giving him a 25. Who sees? We'll see how much he's gonna benefit off of this. Right now, Gachikun is actually pushing Mizuha. Oh yeah, I love the stoppage. No EX out of here. There's no vanity step to jump out of here. That was so clean from Gachikun.
Now things looking mean. He's got himself caught up against the corner, calling with all the V-trigger activated and the extension on the normal. He is super deadly right here. That stun's rising. You know it's about to be even more deadly. The strike throw game even more hot and heavy because you don't want to take a crush counter fist to face. EXDP puts him back in the place of mid-screen.
Backing away. That's the activation that he's going for. You know what? Mizuha was trying to avoid that for so long, and damn, he kicked the wind out of her. That was so sick from Gachikun. It's still down to the wire.
Out of the air like you don't care. 1-to-1, game to game, round to round. The limit. But you see Mizuha just like backing up, trying to use that back and that fierce again to find the whip punish and send him to the corner. Using that EX bar, just get him caught up in the corner, run that strike throw game. As we said it so many times, it's enhanced by the V-trigger. Activation of the crouch fierce. Side switch with it, spin the bar to get it done. Now you show I'm the one.
Oh, what a chase down against the ice step. Nice work there from Gachikun. I was wondering what the counter was going to be. He uses V-skills so well to track down Mizuha. Yes, the ice lance, the ice javelin past the shot. Aim kill a little bit. Ooh. Gachikun getting caught a little bit. A little bit of a punishment now. Does get the eagle spike. He tried to get a throw bait out of that.
Trying to burglarize him. Does it again! Gets the win, the burglarization right here. Look like a hamburger.
Oh, he saw the meat and he took it. He was like, you know what? I'm going to see what happens with this little bit of trigger left. I'm going to go ahead and throw out this eagle spike. Have you ever tasted eagle before? Here, let me feed it to you. Bam! Into the critical art as well. He asked him, do you like original recipe or extra crispy? He wanted to make sure he brought all the herbs and spices to his table. And best believe, Gachikun is still going to stay hungry for this final win. He's looking to take this 4-0 for his team and actually make it an 8-0 to fulfill the good 8-squad prophecy. We'll see if Mizuha has an answer though.
That's right. Listen, I feel like Mizuha's like, dog, I'm gonna eat your words. But Gachu said, I'm on a diet. I'm on game point. I'm about to take you down again. There's the dive kick to leave that crouch fierce situation, the anti-air off the table. But so caught up in the corner, and now Kali running that EX game. Sweet parabellum again. Eating the frames, run the throw game, put him in a coffin.
God, putting him in multiple coffins. It keeps coming back from the dead. Now he's triple tapping.
Finish the job. Finish the job.
Back from the grave, he's like, you know what, stay down there.
Why won't you die?
Why won't you? Why won't you die? I love it. Oh, the crush counter heard from around Metro City. Now it's going to be all Gachikun still. Oh, I like that. Big tech from Mizuha. Still trying to contest the crouching heavy punch, and now full-on secrets for Gachikun. Ending it with a spinning mix. What's the mix afterwards?
That medium activation though. Mizuha. At that moment, good tech though from Gachikun, not trying to get back on the corner, but still got open up with the fierce extension. Some long limbs. She got a nail done.
She went to go see a nail technician, saying now she's showing it off to the world. So look at my ice blue fingertips.
Trade.
That could have been huge.
EX coming through the stun. Oh, it's done. Oh, it's done. Mizuha. Bro, Mizuha is doing something different out here. Being able to slug it out with Gachikun and make him feel unusual. There's moments where Gachikun is able to get things going, but there's something that people don't know about Rashid is that, you know, he can dish out some damage, but his damage potential isn't super high until he has V-triggers going, right? Or until he gets you caught up in the corner. When those things aren't happening, these exchanges are definitely benefiting Mizuha and Colleen's exquisite damage. Final game between the two. Mizuha, Gachikun, and already Mizuha off to an amazing start with some damage on the deck, and again the punish on the fierce.
And that's really a testament to Mizuha's defense more so than his offense, I feel like, because when he gets caught in these corner situations, he still managed to block every mix that comes his way. But again, there's that ambiguity, some of that animosity coming in from the EX spinning mixer, but still, man, a little bit too close for that buffer. And now it's going to be Gachikun getting a full-on punish, but wait a minute, here comes the parry! Here comes the icicle as well.
Fireball.
So much, but out of there, out of harm's way. Gachikun resetting the situation, but not having Trigger on deck any longer. But if Mizuha happens to get a target combo to activate, it's going to be very important. Oh, instead gets it off a short.
I get that fierce going through. Sits in range, you gotta be careful. Dive kick, risky, but it works out the clutch. Not enough that damage that you don't have. No, walk up though to do it. Gachikun puts himself on set point, but look at how close it was. This is not for free. You gotta pay.
And I love the risk that Gachikun takes sometimes with the Eagle Spike, being able to dive in just like that too. But right now he's playing it a little bit calmer than most. He's letting the whirlwind shots do the talking in neutral. He's whipping a handful of normals though, and Mizuha, yes sir, does get the whip punish off of the short. He did have meter, but maybe that's what Gachikun wanted. Oh, you thought you could parry him.
Still with that combo. He still got the Eagle Spike activation. All right, Mizuha with a slight walk out back throw though. Gachikun kick, nothing off of that just yet. So go with the poke game, stay in lane, wait for these whip buttons. That's what I'm saying, waiting for these whip buttons to come through so I can put you in the corner with the damage on a double jab move. Maxwell gets the cross for the win. Final game, final round. Mizuha, Gachikun.
Mizuha is definitely making Gachikun work for it, right? They have been at the advantage thus far, but Mizuha, again, undeterred by the presence of Gachikun and this Rashid so far in the neutral as well as on defense. He is disregarding everything that Gachikun has done, and Mizuha is looking in prime position to put Gachikun in this corner.
Absolutely. Look at this corner push right here. Mizuha just wait for these buttons to whiff and get a punish. We saw him deal with the fierce and the crouch fierce as well, so careful with these buttons. He's just in and out that range. He's like waiting for him. Y'all call me a lumberjack because I wish you would. Oh, damn button. I'm going to catch you with it. Then again, Gachikun able to walk up with it. A little bit of damage.
Oh, that's huge. Absolutely huge. Look at the damage. No chase down, but still gets around the corner. Here comes Gachikun. He's just waiting for that trigger to wind down, and that's a great time to get himself started. But man, Mizuha just steals the momentum again.
Mizuha, it's your chance to shine. Doing it for the squad. For your own squad. EX right through. One situation.
The Eagle Spike.
Oh. The follow, the chase down with the beast. No. And the walk up right smooth. Like ice. Cold to the touch with H. Very nice. Mizuha. Doing it for his team.
He tried it.
Talk to me, Vicious.
Oh my God. I can't believe Gachikun was still trying to steal it. He was trying to finesse and bless by getting in with the dash, but still got his toes tapped by Mizuha. The discipline from this young man getting the draw. You cannot call him the good 8 squad anymore. They stopped the streak, and Kichipama with his hands to his head is like, all of my effort is Zangief. For what? For what, man?
All those gray hairs.
I gotta say.
All those gray hairs.
Mizuha, easily the MVP of today. We saw the way that Gachikun has been playing throughout the entirety of Street Fighter League. We saw how well this team is performing at the top of the food chain. Mizuha not intimidated one bit. I think this is easily his best performance yet. And what's crazy about that is we still have 12 more days of play left. I gotta say, Mizuha is coming together real strong for Gilgun, looking like the top fish.
He's leading the pack out here. 3 to 6 anti-airs. Obviously, no invincible reversals on the side of Colleen. She don't got those. But 10 or 100%, I should say. 3 out of 3 right there for Gachikun, and he had 3 to 4 anti-airs Six situation though. I mean, you look at the score, obviously you see that Gachika had a lot more in terms of staying stable, but actually only the anti-airs being baited out didn't do a lot of damage. We said the dive kicks weren't going to put on a ton of damage against the crouch fierce and things like that. The damage in the favor of Colleen in most situations, and he was so good about trapping Gachika out up in the corner. And as you said, the defense too. When you get caught up in the corner, it was just going to happen. You're fighting Rashid. How do you get out? What's your game plan? You got to work around the character and the person as well. And Mizuha did just that. Shouts to him for coming through and coming correct. Prove me wrong. I ate my damn words. I'm not on a diet, I guess, because I ate all my words.
And of course, we're going to get the interview from Team Gyogun. Despite them not getting the entire W, I feel like getting the draw is just as important. Getting themselves even further up on the board. Showing real gratitude towards his teammates. I like that. Giving a little smooch towards Moke. I like the synchronization too. I like that. The accuracy on it. Even Moke was blushing towards the end. He's like, damn, he actually did it. That was pretty good. Mizuha saying it's a great 2 points for the team, and he thanks Moke for the practice. He absolutely did. He showed it off too, and I really dig that. That was actually pretty funny. I will say, the front runners, Mago and Machobo, despite their best efforts, fell just a little short, right? At least it wasn't a complete blowout. They both had a W, at least in their matches, at least one, right? And I'm kind of curious to see what Mago has to say with Mizuha's performance, because again, this is easily the best that we've seen Mizuha play, especially in knowing that matchup against one of the best Rashids in the world, Capcom Cup champion. Hello, excuse me? That was something that needs to be put out there. Mizuha, again, taking a very clutch victory.
Mago saying that he's proud of putting Mizuha as the anchor because Mizuha has been working really hard. And that's going to be great for, as a captain, like, hey, my decision was correct, but also for the team, being able to pull your weight as the anchor. And they weren't expecting Kichipama today. So even though they weren't expecting Kichipama, Macho was maybe taken off a little off guard, they still played pretty well in that match. Like, it definitely went down to the wire at the end. So even with all those things being said, the team really worked hard. You see the results right here. Mizuha, as someone that I didn't even expect to take this over Gachikun personally, because Gachikun's experience did a fantastic job. As you said, MVP of the night, free.
No, without a doubt. I think that's pretty much the majority thought. I feel like the majority opinion. Gachikun has had a very impressive record going up against a team like Good 8 Squad, but Gyogun really making it count where he needs to. Again, Mizuha being the anchor was the absolute best decision you could ask for. And of course, this is probably the best we've ever seen thus far. These four teams absolutely down to the wire. 2-2 from Mildom Beast versus Shinobiism Gaming. Another 2-2 record from Good 8 Squad versus Gyogun, and we can see how it plays out. Good 8 Squad, of course, still at the very top. Shinobiism getting a couple more points and taking it over FAV Roto Z. You see Gyogun still in 4th place with a pretty distant lead in compared to everybody else down below. But again, just 1 point ahead of Nagoya Oja Body Stars. But again, you see the difference between 5th and 6th, a 2-point difference. Mildom Beast still needs to get as many points as possible. Same applies to Seoul. And then down below, Camouflage Detonation. There's only a handful of games left that they can play. We only have 12 more days left of regulation until the playoffs. Who's going to make it within the top 5? It's very difficult to say as right now, but best believe what's not difficult is tuning in each and every week for Street Fighter League action, because again, there's been so much going down. Tell me your overall thoughts on how you felt with these matches.
All these matches have been fantastic. Seeing these players get closer and closer to the limit, to the end. You can see them putting in their work, believe in their team members, and you best believe all this action is going to be fired throughout every single damn day. So y'all better come back and come watch this beautiful play.
Without a doubt, because we have coming in next week, Shinobiism Gaming facing off against Good 8 Squad. We saw where they were at in the bracket, or we saw where they were at in the rankings, excuse me. Then, of course, followed up by Camouflage Detonation, as well as Mildom Beast. You see these cats going back to back, but for next week, it's going to be a brand new start. All these teams playing for the first time yet again, starting off the week. No repeats, right? They're going to have a significant break to get their strategies going, and best believe you don't want to miss it. For our tables, yours, we'll see you guys for the next Street Fighter League Pro Japan. Take care.